Hello and welcome back to On Point Wargaming. This video is a short follow-up to the one I did about the firefight rules for bolt action. Warlord Games has released some FAQs for firefight. I'm a bit late to this party, but I thought I would do a quick rundown of what's been clarified and what's been introduced through the new FAQs. I won't be going over the new scenario as I haven't had a chance to look at this or play it yet. So I'm just going to stick to the FAQ fundamentals just for this video. First up in the FAQs is table size. Now Warlord Games recommends 3x3 for 200 points and 2x2 for less than 200 points. This is pretty self-explanatory and to me makes a lot of sense. With such reduced figure numbers, you don't really want to be engaging in the biggest game of hide and seek in the Normandy countryside. Now we're hoping to test this very soon and we'll be playing 200 points on a 3x3 table. Next up is the amount of scenery to be used when you're playing firefight. I think lots is the key here, and this is exactly what Warlord Games have said. For me, firefight is exactly what it says. It should be small range, short firefights with fire and manoeuvre encounters. With a sparse amount of scenery, the tabletop will essentially turn into a meat grinder, with most sensible chaps keeping their heads down. However, this really wouldn't make for a good or interesting game at all. Now, whether we're playing in the jungles of the Pacific or in a small French village, I think lots of scenery is going to be used for all of our games. Now, the biggest part of the FAQ is clarifying force composition. Now, the initial release was a tad vague in this respect, so Warlord have refined it for us. Now, using a standard generic theatre selector, the minimum size of a section has been reduced from 5 to 2. So this means that with your mandatory selections, a starting point would be a first or second lieutenant with an infantry section, with the infantry section having a minimum of 2 men, an NCO and whatever else you feel like adding. After this, the support options are a maximum of 2 further infantry sections, again with the same squad size in effect, and then up to 1 of a mortar team, medium machine gun team, medic, flamethrower, sniper or anti-tank team. And remember, no higher officers, armoured vehicles or artillery. Now for players looking to use the campaign book selectors, you still need to follow the standard firefight rules. You reduce mandatory requirements to 1 officer and 1 section, and lastly, reduce the number of any squad type that can be purchased by half to a minimum of 1. This definitely brought clarity around force selection, and I'm already working on forces for my US Marine Corps and my early war French. Now, the last part of the FAQs is, in my opinion, the most interesting. This is the introduction of hand grenades. Now, the main bolt action game doesn't use hand grenades as part of the combat mechanics, but I think this will make a great addition to firefight, as it really lends to the individual soldiers under your command and weapons they would have at this scale. Now, there are 2 types of grenade available, hand grenades and smoke grenades. Hand grenades can be thrown 6 inches on an advance or fire order and are resolved with a D2 HE attack. Now this got me thinking, assuming you have to roll a basic attack with appropriate modifiers to throw the grenade, what if you miss? That grenade has to go somewhere. I think we'll be definitely introducing a scatter rule for any errantly thrown grenades, and even possibly a fumble rule also. Nothing gets the legs pumping like a fumble live grenade dropping at your feet. That should be quite interesting. Now the second grenade option is smoke grenades, and these are basically the same, and they are thrown on a fire or an advance order, but rather than resolve a HE attack, a 3-inch smoke cloud is placed that provides soft cover and is counted as dense terrain. I think we'll all be using cotton wool for this, for our games of firefight. But again, I really like the introduction of the rules for hand grenades at this smaller scale. It's a really interesting tactical dynamic that will be used in short range firefights. So yeah, really looking forward to that. So they are the major points from the new FAQs. Now I'm really itching to get a few games of Firefight in as soon as possible, and also looking forward to the different forces I can put together from the armies I've painted so far. But if you've played Firefight, I'd love to hear your views on the game. What's force building like? Have you introduced any homebrew rules? Is there anything in there that you'd change or modify slightly? I'd love to hear your feedback and comments on the game so far, and just pop these in the comments below. Well, I hope you found that short video useful, and as always, take care, may your dice roll well, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye bye for now.